the Sportic's long-awaited GOAT tier list. And I'll be honest, a lot of the athletes on this tier list I've never heard of. I've found this tier list on Tier Maker, and it's going to be quite a hater central or hater's guide to the best athletes of all time. We'll see how we go. I'm not sure if we're going to have multiple athletes in the GOAT category from the same sports. We'll see what happens. But pretty much we have the God, GOAT, Legend, Star, doesn't belong on this list, and Who tiers. So we'll see how it goes, but let's get straight into it.
I think you're going to put this list to shame, and you're not going to be led into a lot of countries after this.
And perhaps ESPN can call us out after we called them out a couple months back.
But you know what? ESPN might give us a job.
The standards are on the floor at ESPN. Ovechkin.
Legend.
Legend
Easy.
or Star?
Legend.
Okay. What's this guy's name again?
Karelin, 887 wins, 2 losses. Look at the YouTube video for his last loss. Disgusting.
Put him in GOAT.
Felix, Star.
Star, fair enough.
Amanda Nunes doesn't belong on this list.
Anderson Silva, same here. Who's this bloke? I've never heard of him. And I reckon he's a bit of a GOAT. But
Aaron Senna doesn't belong on this list.
That is quite harsh, but fair enough. Babe Ruth is actually GOAT of baseball.
He's the GOAT of baseball.
Who the hell is that, mate? Mike Trout doesn't belong on this list. Looks like a former GOAT, but never heard of you. Never heard of you. Bill Russell.
He's a legend.
11-time champion. Rest in peace.
Magic Johnson. I think he's a star.
He's a star, yeah. Perhaps the greatest point guard of all time, but we're talking about athletes, not just point guards. Who? Irish all-time great. Forgot your name, so I guess you're a who, but I'm pretty sure you're good, but Ireland's never made it outside of the quarterfinals in the World Cup, so yours doesn't belong on the list. Who? But we don't know his name, so he has to be who?
Carl Lewis.
Star. He's a star.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He's a god. He
doesn't belong on this list.
Doesn't belong on this list. Chris Cyborg doesn't belong on this list. What's his name again?
Lee Matthews. Hawthorn, legend, Australian Football League.
But because it doesn't really matter, you can put him in star. Ronaldo? Put him in GOAT. Just for now, it's an easy one.
I think he's the GOAT.
And we can come back to other footballers and perhaps put more footballers in the list. Never heard of you, mate.
NASCAR is in the sport.
Virat Kohli, star.
He's a star.
He's a star. Dan Carter.
Doesn't belong on this list.
But he's arguably...
Doesn't belong on this list.
Yep.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care. I don't think that's Aaron Rodgers, and that's all that matters.
I do know who that is, but I forgot his name. Diego Maradona. This is where it gets tricky.
He's a legend.
Sports.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. Fair enough. Never heard of you, mate.
Can't even see what he looks like.
Looks familiar, but never heard of you. Fedor Emelianenko doesn't belong on this list because we know his name. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's a legend. He's actually a legend because he used to be known as the GOAT in basketball.
Sorry? He used to be known as the GOAT in basketball, Kareem.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever known
prior
as the
to
GOAT.
Michael Jordan and
I don't believe that statement, but he's a legend nonetheless.
This lady is a who because even though I recognise her, I just don't know what her name is. Floyd, he's a legend actually.
I think he's a star. He's not a legend. He's a star.
Okay, I'll give it to
Floyd Money Mayweather.
This guy is
West Indies cricketer, that's for sure.
Is it West Indies cricketer?
But we don't know his name. Ah, for sure.
Or rugby player, maybe? Don't know who you are, mate. Gary Ablett, known as the GOAT in Australian rules football.
I'm putting him as the GOAT.
But talking about relative sports, you don't belong in the GOAT category, my friend.
Yeah, he's a star.
But we put this bloke in the GOAT category. So are we going...
I don't think you can compare the two bald-headed guys there. I was going to say bald-headed
Australian rules football has a cap of the star category. George St. Pierre, he's a star or he doesn't belong in this list?
I think he's a star.
Okay, fair enough. So
he put the UFC on the map.
Yeah, but Fedor Emelianenko is also the GOAT heavyweight. Maybe not anymore.
But he didn't do it in the UFC. And the UFC is a huge...
Lewis Hamilton, are we saying he's the GOAT Formula 1 driver?
I think he's a legend.
So are we saying that Schumacher is the GOAT then?
We'll
come to it. We can put him in legend for now and we can come back to it. And I would actually put Kareem above, but we can adjust it at the end. Never heard of this bloke. Is that John Day? No, it's not.
I have no idea. Who? Doesn't matter. No time for that.
It's getting a bit messy here. Who? Tiger Woods. GOAT.
I think he's the GOAT.
Put him in GOAT.
He's the GOAT of many things.
Yeah. What's that bloke's
Joe
name?
Montana.
Yeah. He's actually the star legend.
He's a legend.
He used to be known as the GOAT prior to Tom Brady. Michael Jordan.
I don't think he's the GOAT. I think he's more than that.
He's a god.
He's a god.
This guy, Jesse Owens. Owens. Have some respect for Jesse Owens. He's actually doesn't belong on this list. Nah. Star or doesn't belong on this list?
Me?
Nah.
Say that to the 1936 Nazis watching him.
But in comparison.
He's a star.
But
that's disgusting.
Yeah, but Mike Trout's also a star.
Excuse me, you're
so
comparing.
does Senna.
You're comparing Mike Trout to Jackie Robinson.
What about Senna?
Oh my
What about
Lord.
Senna?
Everyone in the comments, please.
I know the Olympics were cancelled.
The most disrespected athlete.
Future Olympic Games were cancelled. So
he only really Jackie Robinson right now.
So put him in star, just out of respect for cultural status.
Out of respect.
Okay, fair enough. This guy, is that OJ Simpson? No.
I actually know the face, but I don't know who that is.
Maybe it is OJ.
Who?
A young OJ Simpson.
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Legend.
I don't want to delve too much into the cultural status, but he's culturally a GOAT.
Also, early death and just increases that legend status.
Legacy over
life. Legacy over life.
Is that Joe Fraser?
No, I don't think that's Joe Fraser. Or maybe it is, perhaps.
But we're not sure, so we have to put who.
Yeah, it's going to be a who. Apologies.
That is quite disrespectful because I'm pretty sure that bloke is an all-time legend, as is Johan Cruyff.
Who doesn't belong on this list.
No, he is. He's
belong on this list.
He's on the same level as Diego Maradona to some extent.
Doesn't belong on this list.
He's a star. I'm putting him on star.
Doesn't belong on this list. Doesn't belong on this list.
Doesn't
belong.
You're putting him in the same category as Senna and Mike Trout.
Well, you compared Mike Trout to Jackie Robinson, so yes.
Who's Jackie Robinson?
I don't know who we're talking about.
Who's Jackie Robinson? Jesse Owens.
Was that Jesse Owens?
Yes.
Oh, Jackie Robinson. I'm getting him confused with the baseball lad.
Talking about disrespect to Jesse Owens. John Jones. He's a GOAT. You know what? He's a GOAT. I don't care. He's actually the GOAT of MMA. He just keeps silencing the haters.
Dana White, who he wants to fight for him, and he'll go.
Nadal, legend. He's a legend. He's not the GOAT. But he is a legend. Jonah Lomu, I'm pretty sure.
He's a star.
He's a star, but he's before our time, to be honest.
Rest in peace.
Kelly Slater, he's actually the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
And I'm going to actually put him in the GOAT just because he's actually a cultural icon.
He is a star. Hey, football stars. Is your kid holding you back? Time for an upgrade. Soccer Artos, introducing the ultimate football kit. It's sleek, it's bold, and it will make you look like a pro, all without breaking the bank. Crafted with high-quality, moisture-wicking fabric, you'll stay cool while crushing it on the field. And guess what? It's affordable too. Use the code SPORT for 10% off. Grab yours now and dominate the pitch in style. Gear up, play hard, look fly without the hefty price tag.
Habib
is
a legend. Or top of star?
I think
top of star. Just because his longevity wasn't there, but
you think he's a greater star than Magic Johnson?
It's hard to... But Magic Johnson...
Oh, please don't compare. It's a point guard. Please don't compare the two.
What about Floyd Mayweather? Why is
he's not even? I think Habib's at the bottom. We
can adjust the rankings in
Lee Matthews. Please put Lee Matthews at the end of that list as well. I feel like 99.9% of the world doesn't know who he is. We'll get onto that adjustment.
And in a very controversial one here, we got Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. You know what? Irrespective, because everyone's doping in cycling and. You know what? He's a god, borderline.
Just a quick story for the viewers. I remember that story when he came out that he did dope. To this day, I don't believe it.
Margaret Court, another controversial figure.
Margaret Court is a legend.
She's actually a legend. She's actually a GOAT, female GOAT as well, to be fair to her.
She is.
Should we put her in GOAT?
No, she's a legend because she's not the GOAT of the sport.
Okay. Rings a bell, but don't know his name. Is that Michaela
Vaughn?
Lindsay Vonn does not belong on this list. The most overrated skier of all time. Too busy in the comment section of Yannick Sinner and Novak Djokovic trying to get some clout. Muhammad Ali, God.
Simple.
He's a god.
Straight to the top.
Hard to compare generations of the sports, but cultural icon, sports icon, as is Messi, but it's a controversy. I know it's more popular to have him above Ronaldo, but...
I'm going to have them both as GOATs.
We'll put them both as GOATs.
Put them both as GOATs. Although, for me, I could see Messi being a legend.
Because originally, this list actually had subjective GOAT and undisputed GOAT, and Messi is still...
Do you think Messi could be a legend?
No, we'll leave him at GOAT.
No, he's a GOAT.
Manny Pacquiao... He doesn't belong on this list.
Doesn't belong on this list.
Too bad for you, mate. Is that Sidney Crosby?
I'm just going to put who because I can't see his face.
I think that might be Sidney Crosby.
We're going to have to go talk to our producer to get actually the face.
We can put who, but we can maybe come back to that bloke later on. Never heard of this bloke. Never heard of this guy. LeBron James? GOAT. Put him in the GOAT category.
Is it the GOAT? Yeah, that's a good call.
We're having multiple GOATs from the same sports, but when you have LeBron James and Michael Jordan, you just have to put them there. Rafael Nadal, mate, you're a level below. You're not on the GOAT status. Happy retirement to you. Is it Michael Johnson? Doesn't belong on this list. Michael Phelps, he's actually a god.
He's a god.
He's a god.
He's the best swimmer you'll ever see in your life.
This Romanian gymnast, and I
I
forgot
know
her
who she
name,
is.
but she actually belongs on. Out of respect to her, she actually revolutionized the
No,
sport.
knowing her, she's
But
Romanian. She's probably Nicolau.
I'm pretty sure her name is, and she's the only athlete I'll actually put on a tier, even though I forgot her name because I know she's really good. Pele,
You
legend.
sure that's Pele?
Yeah, Pele and someone else. Legend.
Are you only putting Pele at legend?
Are we putting Pele in the same status as Maradona?
Yeah, okay.
So we have to.
Understood.
This bloke,
Who? Any American.
I recognize all, like, these are all legends. So I recognize pretty
if you
much
play
all
American football. You're
Ric
probably
Flair, he's too busy
he doesn't belong on this list.
on that white snow.
He doesn't belong on that list.
Doesn't belong on the list, as with other pro
Is that
wrestlers.
Clint Eastwood dressed in a cowboy hat?
Who, bottom of who? Richie
McCaw.
McCaw doesn't belong on this list.
Wow.
Because even though he's a legend of rugby, he's not the best player. Ronaldo Nazario,
the original Ronaldo. He's a legend.
he's a star.
No, I
He's
believe
a star. He's not, he's not on the same status as Nadal and Pele and Maradona.
If you ask any footballer, you'll say that he's the best
Are we
football player ever
are
played.
we going to weight football in a higher degree so we can have multiple? We can put a bottom of legend maybe because
He's a
you've
legend.
overrated Ovechkin.
I haven't overrated.
how
I
many
met Ovechkin when
championships
I
has he-
was
how
7
many
years
Stanley
old,
Cups
and when I
has he
saw
won?
him, I thought he was a god.
Ronda Rousey doesn't belong on this list. Sorry, mate.
That's disgusting.
But you know what? Bottom doesn't belong because he used to be a goat.
How's that the bottom? Is that the top?
Oh,
or the
top,
bottom?
sorry, top. You know, Alton Senna is the top, let's be honest. And Mike Trout.
Sorry.
And Johan Cruyff.
Shouldn't Rousey be at the bottom? She's worse than
You know
Lizzie
what? You
Vonn.
actually, you
What
know
are we
what? You could be
talking? What has
above
she
Lizzie
done?
Vonn. I don't know why I was gaining respect for Ronda Rousey there. She's a fraud of an MMA fighter prior to the women's revolution in fighting. This bloke
Could be anyone.
could be
Could be anyone.
Sachin Tendulkar. Is he the GOAT of cricket?
He's not. He's a legend. He's
But
a legend of cricket.
I'm not sure we even have Don Bradman here in terms of the GOAT.
I don't care. He's not
He's a
not the
legend.
goat. He's
You
a
know
legend.
what? In terms of cricket, there's no undisputed GOAT unless you want to go with Bradman. So perhaps they don't even deserve a GOAT in cricket. How
Sean
important
White,
is it?
he's the goat of his sport.
But
He's won, is there 4 gold medals?
I'm not going to weight as a legend. I'm not going to weight snowboarding
Okay.
as highly, but the wrestling is the one outlier which we are paying respect to, as is surfing. But surfing is more prestigious than snowboarding once every 4 years.
Serena Williams is a star.
Legend.
Yeah, she's a
Legend, 23
I'm being a
times.
hater.
We'll put her below Margaret Court because you'll never be as good as her, Serena.
Probably- I think that's
one of
Crosby.
these two people is Sidney Crosby.
Nah, let's put Crosby as a star. Let's just say that's Crosby.
We'll say it's Crosby.
We'll say it's Crosby. And
I think the other guy is
he's probably a
Crosby.
legend, Crosby.
But isn't the one holding a trophy? Who's this bloke? That's not Crosby. That looks
That's
too old.
That's Gretzky.
Oh, of course. That is absolutely horrific by me. He's actually
Just put him on. Put
He's
Gretzky.
actually a god.
Gretzky's he's not a god.
We're gonna
He's a
catch
goat.
flames if we don't put him as a god because
Okay.
Gretzky is actually seen as the greatest sports person of all time.
But ice hockey, no one cares about ice hockey.
We can put him in God alongside
Can we
Tom
please
Brady.
can we put
Where
Gretzky
is
as
Tom
a
Brady
goat?
even in this list? Oh, here we go. I know
Put Tom Brady as a goat.
Tom Brady. We can put him in God for now, but we'll come back to that.
Sorry.
What?
You're putting Tom Brady as God. This is a sport that's played in one country in the world.
That's what I mean. So we can put him in.
I'm
We can put them both in the bottom of
as
goat.
goat.
Okay,
At the top
fair
of
enough.
goat.
Simone Biles, we'll put her in goat.
She's a goat. She's a goat.
Bottom of goat.
4'8", I'm pretty sure she is.
Usain Bolt, he's a god.
He's a
but-
god. He's a god.
Yeah, we
He's
have
the
to because the
best
same as
athlete.
Phelps. We can't put.
He's the best athlete to ever exist.
Who do you? We'll come back to this after. We can do it now, or we can select between.
We'll
Phelps
come
and-
back.
yeah.
We'll come back
Yeah.
to that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a legend, but doesn't belong on
He's
this
not
list.
a legend. He's not a legend.
Is that Sugar Sean Mosley? Doesn't belong on this list. He was
You were going to
just
say Sugar Shane O'Malley, weren't you?
this bloke. I recognize. Is that Mike? Is that it? No, I was about to say young Mike Tyson.
It looks like
It's
a
black.
young Muhammad Ali.
It's black and white, so I'm not sure who that is.
No, I don't know who that
It's
is.
Bjorn Borg,
Star.
and who knows what he could have done if he didn't retire at the age of 28 or so.
I think it was even younger, 25,
Pete
26.
Sampras, we'll put him above, around the top of Star, the former GOAT of tennis prior to the revolution of the big three. Rod Laver, same thing with him. He can be next to
I think it's actually a legend.
bottom of legend.
Bottom of
Because
legend.
it's just in the
Even
previous.
the 60s
It's the same
doesn't
with
count.
Margaret Court. You have to put them in a similar
Doesn't
sphere.
count as sport, the 60s, 70s, 80s, but we'll put him in there.
Roger Federer has to be next, below Rafael Nadal. So whereabouts is Nadal? We put him in this category. He can be directly below Nadal. Is that fair?
I personally think that
we can adjust the
I personally
rankings.
think Federer had a better career than Nadal and should.
To be
a
honest,
GOAT.
I think we're disrespecting Sportic's main channel, which is main sport,
I
which
think
is
Roger
tennis.
Federer is a GOAT.
And I think that Roger Federer and Nadal can both be in the GOAT status, but we'll get to that in a moment. Who is that? Chris Evert? I think it is. I think
If
it's
we don't
Chris
know who
Evert.
it is, it's a
It is.
who.
It is. It's Chris Evert. We'll put her in just
Doesn't
a
belong
star.
on this list. No, it doesn't belong on this list.
She won.
Go, how many Grand Slams
She
did
won
she win?
like 12 French Opens. Oh, no,
She won
9
12.
French
What did
Opens.
she,
10 French.
she did
7.
not win.
7.
Well, you started with 12, now it's 7. I bet you it's 4. 7 in French Opens.
She won 19 Grand Slams. 20 Grand Slams.
Chris Everett. Did she?
Yeah. I have to put her bottom of the star. Is it Martina? Yeah.
Who?
Martina
Yeah,
Navratilova.
she's a star.
She's actually a borderline a GOAT, to be honest, but she won like 60 Grand Slams. Same with Margaret Court.
Across multiple
generations. Steffi Graf, 22-time Grand
She's
Slam
the GOAT.
champion.
She's the GOAT. She's the female
we'll
GOAT.
put her next to Serena. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah. This bloke. Never heard of you, man. I'm pretty sure we had a different bloke before.
They all look the
What's
same,
his name
the
again? A
golfers.
skateboarder.
This is disgusting.
This is so
and
bad.
this is embarrassing. His name
He's
is
a GOAT.
Tony Hawk. He's
Tony
the GOAT.
Hawk. He's actually the god. Just kidding. Doesn't belong on this list.
He's a god for many kids. You didn't put Tony Hawk a GOAT.
Skateboarding. What has he actually
skateboarding's not a
accomplished?
sport.
It wasn't in the Olympics
Yeah,
back
it's
then.
not a sport.
The Undertaker.
Doesn't belong on this list. Apologies.
I mean, he might come at any moment.
Wrestling is not a sport.
Wayne Carey.
Duck.
Doesn't belong on this list.
Doesn't belong on this list.
You know what? Other player doesn't belong on this list? Lee Matthews.
Lee Matthews. Let's actually take him down. He
Where
doesn't
is
belong
he?
on this list.
We put him in the star status. He
doesn't belong on this list.
And even Gary Ablett could be at the bottom of the star. Comparing Gary Ablett to Bjorn Borg is crazy. This bloke, the last who, and Novak Djokovic, he is definitely not a who. He is the god. He is the face of Sportic. He is the cultural and sports icon who is only going to grow in reputation and prestige as the years go on. And especially while he's still playing, people are going to begin to appreciate him more in these last few years. I believe he still has a few more Grand Slams in his bag, I guess.
And I think time goes on, 20 years from now,
he's cultural icon.
Yes, he's going to be the Muhammad Ali of this generation.
Yeah.
And that's that. Without thinking too hard about it, going with our natural instincts.
Natural instincts.
And many of our natural instincts are like, who?
Exactly.
I think that's the title of this video.
I reckon some LeBron fanboys might be a bit angry, but guess what? You're not even the GOAT of your sport, so you can't be on the God status.
I think the only mistake that we possibly made is the Messi Ronaldo. I think just based on their fan bases and their careers, I think it's fair that they're both GOATs.
Yeah.
And we didn't have put one as a god, even though both could possibly be gods.
And guess what?
And Gretzky and Tom Brady, I think they're both possible god status, but because of the sport is really limited to, especially the NFL is limited to one country and ice hockey is limited to only a handful of countries, we put them in the GOAT.
That's fair, yeah.
Great.
So let us know if there's a last look of the rankings. I think it's pretty fair. It's quite, rapid fire, quick fire. Not a lot of thinking behind it, even though...
Trust your gut.
Yeah, so that's about it. Until next time.